Why are so many people packing up and leaving the Texas Hill Country? Well, let's go ahead and find out right now. Ryan Rendon, Rendon Realty Group, your favorite realtor right here in the Texas Hill Country. If you're new to the channel, I put out videos just like this one every single week to help you make informed decisions when moving to and from the Texas Hill Country. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, but also that little bell so you can get notified anytime I put out videos just like this one. So what has been the draw to the Texas Hill Country? Well, picture this. Rolling hills, fields of bluebonnets, and some of the best barbecue joints you'll ever find. It's the rural charm mixed with a dash of modern amenities that's been attracting folks for years. You have towns like Fredericksburg with the wineries and Bernie with its quaint Main Street vibe. Plus, you're just a stone throws away from cities like Austin and San Antonio. It's really been the perfect balance, right? Well, let's go ahead and see why the balance is tipping. Firstly, let's talk about money and the rising cost of living. Now, Texas really does have the rep of being affordable. Now, the Texas Hill Country, not so much anymore. Property prices throughout the Texas Hill Country have just gone through the roof, and along with those, pretty much everything else as well. We're starting to see middle income families who once thrived here now struggling just to keep up. Lately, I've been talking to a lot of locals who have been here for generations on generations, and they are really starting to feel the pinch. They talk about how their grocery bills, their property taxes, and overall expenses are climbing. And it's not just a numbers game, it's really about the change of quality of life as well. Now, of course, the cost of living definitely varies throughout the Texas Hill Country, but specifically here in Fredericksburg, the real estate prices have just gone through the roof the last 4 to 5 years, especially with the amount of short-term rental Airbnbs that have been selling. But other regions of the Hill Country have certainly felt the pinch as well. And this now leads us into our next topic, which is water scarcity and environmental concerns. And we're not just talking about having to cut back on your lawn watering either. This is about the very essence of living in a rural area. Having enough water for your daily needs, agriculture, and keeping the natural beauty alive. The Texas Hill Country, while yes stunning with its creeks and springs, has been hit hard by drought in the recent years. Farmers and ranchers are the backbone of our area, and they are in a very tight spot. They're having to deal with water restrictions that of course impact crop production and their livestock. It's really a tricky balance. They need the water to sustain their livelihoods, but the resources are dwindling. And after speaking with some of these local farmers and ranchers, they're having to come up with innovative ways to try to conserve water and adapt to these changing conditions. But of course, the drought isn't the only concern. When it does rain here in the Hill Country, it tends to absolutely pour. Flash floods have become increasingly common, causing damage to homes and of course land as well. And of course, this unpredictability isn't just a headache, it's a financial and emotional burden for our local residents. Just imagine worrying about when the next rainstorm is going to be, if it's going to be this flash flood that's going to wipe out roads, houses, crops, whatever the case may be, or in recent years, is it ever going to rain again so we can get out of this drought? The unpredictability on whether or not it is going to rain or isn't going to rain is going to be one of the downfalls and the setbacks that people have living here in the Hill Country. And to get a little deeper understanding, I talked to some environmental experts who are studying these patterns. They discuss the long-term implications of these extreme weather conditions and how it is affecting our local ecosystem. What does it mean for the future of water resource here? Are there any sustainable solutions that can be implemented? These experts help provide insights on how climate change has affected our local area throughout the Texas Hill Country and also what measures have been done to help mitigate these challenges. It's not all grim though. There is a growing awareness among residents about the importance of water conservation and sustainable living. We are starting to see initiatives to protect and conserve water resources and push towards more environmentally friendly practices in agriculture and daily life. You know, it's the community's response throughout the Texas Hill Country that shows the resiliencies and adaptability of the people living throughout the region. They're determined to find ways to live harmoniously with the environment even as it changes. And this now brings us to our next topic, which is the impact of real estate. Now, of course, property values are a key part to this story. In certain areas of the Hill Country, they're hitting new highs driven by a growing demand for scenic, rural living spaces, a trend which is accelerated by the rise of remote work. And of course, you have towns like Fredericksburg where the real estate market is really driven by the sales of short-term rentals, Airbnbs. However, in other parts, particularly those grappling with environmental challenges like water scarcity, we're seeing a decline in property values. And this fluctuating market throughout the Texas Hill Country is reshaping the preferences of home buyers. It seems like today's buyers are increasingly leaning towards sustainability. Homes equipped with eco-friendly features such as solar panels, efficient water systems, and sustainable materials are in high demand right now. It's not just about living in a beautiful rolling hill picturesque area anymore, it's about living reasonably and sustainably. Another noticeable trend is the shift towards smaller, more manageable properties. Unless you're the type of person that wants to buy a big ranch, 300, 400, 500 acres for hunting purposes or ag and wildlife. From the aging population looking for easier to maintain homes to the younger buyers out there prioritizing minimalism and efficiency. And of course, for sellers, this means that you are going to have to rethink your approach. It's really becoming crucial to highlight not just the aesthetic or the location appeal of the property, but also its environmental sustainability and practicality. This evolving landscape is challenging sellers to adapt to the priorities and the preferences of these buyers. And then the long-term rental market is also seeing a shift. With the market's ups and downs and high interest rates, many are opting to rent either as a more flexible living option or as a stepping stone to home ownership. And this of course has led to the increased demand for both short-term rentals and long-term rentals, opening up new avenues for both investors and homeowners, reflecting the changing preferences and priorities for all those who call this area home. Okay, so let's now talk about the future of the Texas Hill Country. First off, despite some folks leaving the area, there is a new wave of interest in our area. We're really seeing people drawn to the Texas Hill Country for its natural beauty, its sense of community, and its slower pace of life, especially with the work from home trend picking up speed. The appeal of a picturesque, peaceful setting that's still within the reach of city amenities is stronger than ever. But of course, it's not just about moving in and setting up shop the old way. There's a growing consciousness about living sustainably, like we talked about earlier, and in harmony with the environment. And again, we are seeing initiatives popping up all over, from the community-led water conservation programs to initiative eco-friendly building projects. It's like the entire Texas Hill Country region is coming together to reinvent what life could be like in a way that truly respects and preserves the natural beauty of the Hill Country. And then there's an exciting buzz around startups and local businesses. The Hill Country is also becoming a hub for entrepreneurs who want to blend quality of lifestyle with innovative business ideas. From the alcohol industry booming to the art shops and tech startups, there's a new economic energy in the air. And of course, this isn't just good for the local economies, this is bringing a new life and diversity to our local communities. And of course, let's not forget about the younger generations. They're starting to bring in fresh ideas and perspectives, from sustainable farming practices to modern art and culture. It's creating this unique blend of traditional hill country charm with a new vibrant edge. And all these changes in the Hill Country region is leading into something really special. It's like the Hill Country is evolving into a place that holds on to its roots while branching out in new, exciting directions. Sure, there are challenges, no place is perfect, but the way the local communities are responding, that's the real story. It's about adaptation, innovation, and a deep love for this little slice of Texas. So, what is the future for the Texas Hill Country? Well, in my opinion, it's looking like a place where tradition meets innovation, where the charm of the old blends with the excitement of the new, and that, my friends, is something to watch. So there you have it, folks. Those are some of the reasons people are leaving the Texas Hill Country. And if you're thinking about buying or selling anywhere around the Texas Hill Country, I would love to be your realtor of choice. All my contact information is above, but also down in the description. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that little bell so you can get notified anytime I put out videos just like this one. And make sure you watch this next video. I think you're really gonna like it. We'll see you in the next video.